everyone, I welcome you all to Focus of the Day session of ANALYST IAS. In this particular session, we will discuss about the topic LOFTID Mission. We will have this particular discussion in the following series. First, why in news, followed by about LOFTID Mission, followed by prelims practice question, followed by mains practice question. But before we start our discussion, I want you all to be informed about very important course of ANALYST IAS for you. First one is Polity class, which will start from 21st of November. Second one is Ethics class, which will start from 5th of December. And along with that, we will soon launch Public Administration optional course for Mains 2023. So you can inquire about any of the following on the given number. And you can also visit our official address, that is in Old Rajinder Nagar Market. So now let's move on toward our topic of discussion and see why it is in news. NASA completed the technology demonstration of its LOFTID mission. LOFTID is Low Earth Orbit Flight Test of an Inflatable Decelerator. Now we will discuss about the same. The cone-shaped structure will have an inflatable structure that is capable of holding its shape against the drag forces. It will also have a protective flexible thermal protection system that will prevent it or protect it from the heat generated during the re-entry. When a spacecraft or anything else enters a planet's atmosphere, drag acts upon the body and slows it down, converting the kinetic energy into the heat energy. So this causes the burning and all these phenomena in the object which is coming back into the orbit from the space. Now we will discuss about the uses of this LOFTID mission. The first use is it will bring massive object back to Earth's orbit, like the items from International Space Station, which is supposed to be decommissioned. The second use is it will be used for bringing back rocket assets after they are launched. And it will also help land humans on Mars. So this is a very important use of this particular mission. Now we will discuss about the orbits and its type. An orbit is a regular repeating path that an object in space takes around another one. An object moving around a planet is called its satellite, and according to the heights of the satellite from the Earth, the orbit can be classified as high Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit and low Earth orbit. So this is about all the orbits. Now we will discuss in detail about the high Earth orbit. High Earth orbit is when a satellite reaches exactly 42,164 kilometers from the center of the Earth, that is about 36,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface. At this altitude, the satellite enters a sort of sweet spot in which the orbit matches the Earth's rotation, and this special high Earth orbit is called geosynchronous. A satellite in a circular geosynchronous orbit directly over the equator will have a geostationary orbit, that is, it does not move at all relative to the ground. Use of geostationary orbit is extremely valuable for weather monitoring and communication purposes because satellites in this orbit provide a constant view of the same surface. And finally, many high Earth orbiting satellites monitor solar activity. It tracks magnetic and radiation levels in the space around them. So this was about the high Earth orbit. Now we will discuss about the medium Earth orbit. Closer to the Earth, satellites in a medium Earth orbit move more quickly. Two medium Earth orbits are notable. The first one is the semi-synchronous orbit and the second one is the Molniya orbit. Semi-synchronous orbit is a near circular orbit, that is, it has low eccentricity, around 26,506 km from the center of the earth, that is about 20,200 km above the earth's surface. A satellite in semi-synchronous orbit or at this height takes around 12 hours to complete an orbit. And in 24 hours, the satellite crosses over the same two spots on the equator every day. And this orbit is consistent and highly predictable. So it is the orbit used for GPS or Global Positioning System satellites. The second one being Molniya orbit. It is the second common medium Earth orbit. It was invented by the Russians. The Molniya orbit works well for observing the high latitudes. Molniya orbit offers a useful alternative to the geostationary orbit, as the satellite in a geostationary orbit are parked over the equator, so they don't work well for the northern and the southern location, which are always on the edge of the view of the geostationary satellite. The Molniya orbit combined high inclination, that is around 63.4 degree, with high eccentricity, that is around 0.722, to maximize the viewing time over the high latitudes. Each orbit lasts 12 hours, so the slow high altitude portion of the orbit repeats over the same location every day and night. And Russian communication satellite and the Sirius radio satellites currently use this type of orbit. So this was about the medium Earth orbit and its type. Now we will discuss about the low Earth orbit. Most scientific satellite and many weather satellite are in a nearly circular low Earth orbit. The satellite's inclination depend on what the satellite was launched to monitor. So this was about low Earth orbit. Now we will move on toward our prelims practice question, which says which orbit is also known as Molniya orbit. A. Medium Earth orbit, B. Low Earth orbit, C. Polar orbit, and D. Geostationary orbit. So you can answer this question easily. Write your answer in comment box. I will answer this question in my next video. Now we will discuss yesterday's question, which said consider the following statement about OSOWOG initiative. The idea was first mooted by India at ISA, and the project has been taken up under the Technical Assistance Program of the World Bank. So the correct answer for this particular question is C. That is, both the statements are correct. Now we will move on toward our mains practice question, which says outer space is emerging as a potential fourth arm of any country's defense setup. Discuss the issues associated with outer space geopolitics and also suggest a way forward. So you have to answer this particular question in 250 words. Write your answer and send it to us on our WhatsApp number to get it reviewed. So this is all for today. Stay tuned with Analyst IAS to get further update. Thank you.